Infatuation. Episode 1, The Beginning of a Feeling. Out of nearly 8 billion people on Earth, why does your heart race for just one? Why does one face stay in your mind long after you've left the room? Why do you suddenly check your phone every few minutes, hoping that one particular person has sent you a message? Is it destiny? Is it true love? Or is your brain quietly creating an illusion so convincing that it feels impossible to ignore? Today, we're exploring one of the most powerful emotions humans experience, infatuation, a feeling that has inspired poems, songs, novels, movies, and life-changing decisions for thousands of years. Some people mistake it for love, while others dismiss it as just a crush, but what is it really? Where does it come from? And why can it make intelligent people act in surprisingly irrational ways? Let's begin at the beginning. Chapter 1. Before we talk about infatuation, before we understand infatuation, we first need to understand the human brain. Imagine two people meeting for the first time, neither of them knows anything about the other, they don't know each other's personality, they don't know each other's values, and they don't know whether the other person is kind, honest, or trustworthy. Yet sometimes, within seconds, one person feels an unusually strong attraction. How is that possible? The answer begins with evolution. For millions of years, humans survived not because they were the strongest persons, but because they formed relationships, families, and communities. Our ancestors who successfully built social bonds were generally more likely to survive, protect their children, and pass on their genes. Because of that long evolutionary history, the human brain developed systems that help us notice, remember, and emotionally respond to other people, and it is, truly, fascinating. Chapter 2. What exactly is infatuation? In psychology, infatuation is an intense feeling of attraction or fascination toward another person, and it often develops quickly. It can involve constant thoughts about the other person, excitement, idealizing them, and a strong desire to be close to them, even when you know very little about who they really are. Notice something important. Infatuation is not the same thing as love, and this distinction is crucial. Love usually grows through shared experiences, trust, understanding, and commitment. Infatuation, on the other hand, can begin before any of those things exist. Imagine buying a beautifully wrapped gift without knowing what's inside. From the outside, it looks perfect, and your imagination fills in the rest. Infatuation often works in a similar way. When we know only a little about someone, our minds naturally fill in the missing information. Sometimes, we imagine qualities that may not actually be there, and this is what psychologists call idealization, seeing someone as more perfect than the evidence supports. This doesn't mean the feeling is fake, the emotion is real, but the picture our mind creates may be incomplete. Chapter 3. Has infatuation always existed? Long before psychology became a science, people noticed this mysterious feeling. Ancient civilizations wrote stories about overwhelming attraction, and poets described sleepless nights, while artists painted lovers lost in thought. Writers told stories of people making extraordinary sacrifices because of intense romantic feelings. For centuries, people explained these experiences through myths, destiny, or supernatural forces. Only much later did psychology and neuroscience begin studying what happens inside the human mind and brain during intense attraction. Today, researchers understand much more than they did hundreds of years ago, but there is still no single love center or infatuation switch in the brain. Instead, many brain regions, emotions, memories, expectations, and life experiences work together to create this powerful feeling. Chapter 4. Why does it feel so powerful? Imagine you're walking through a busy shopping mall, with hundreds of people passing by, you barely notice most of them. Then, one person catches your attention, maybe it was a smile, maybe it was the way they spoke, maybe it was their confidence, maybe you can't even explain why. Hours later, you still remember them, and days later, you're still thinking about them. Why? One reason is that the brain gives special attention to things it considers emotionally important. When something captures our interest strongly, our attention naturally returns to it again and again. This is why people often replay conversations in their minds, imagine future interactions, or notice details about the person that they would normally ignore. The brain isn't necessarily trying to make you fall in love, it's trying to understand something it has marked as significant. Sometimes that attention fades naturally, sometimes it grows into deeper affection, and sometimes, it becomes infatuation. What can infatuation teach us? Infatuation is not just about another person, it is, in fact, a reflection of ourselves. Sometimes, it teaches us about ourselves, and it shows us what qualities we admire, what dreams we have, what fears we carry, and what kind of relationship we hope to build. Instead of asking, "Why did this happen to me?" a better question might be, "What can I learn from this experience?" Every meaningful emotion has something to teach us, if we are willing to listen, and, truly, that is a valuable lesson. The most important lesson: never confuse someone's image with their reality. You may admire their appearance, you may enjoy their personality, but true understanding takes time. People are more than their photographs, more than their social media profiles, and more than a few conversations. They are complex, multifaceted individuals. Real relationships are discovered slowly, through shared experiences, honesty, and trust. A final thought: imagine holding a beautiful flower. If you squeeze it too tightly, you damage it. If you never care for it, it fades. Healthy relationships are similar. They need space, they need patience, they need respect, they cannot be forced, they cannot be rushed, and they cannot survive on imagination alone. So, what is infatuation? It isn't just a crush, it's a complex emotion, one that can be difficult to understand. It isn't always love, and it certainly isn't magic. Infatuation is a natural human experience, one that begins in the mind, is influenced by our emotions, and teaches us something about ourselves. Sometimes it grows into genuine love, but sometimes it fades as reality replaces imagination, and that's a hard lesson to learn. But every experience leaves us with a lesson, and that's what makes it so valuable. The next time your heart beats faster for someone, don't just ask, "Do I love them?" Ask yourself, "Do I truly know them?" Because understanding a person takes time, it's a process that requires patience and effort, while infatuation can happen in a moment, and that's what makes it so thrilling. I hope this documentary helped you understand the psychology behind one of the most powerful emotions we experience. If you found this video informative, please leave a like, and share it with your friends, family, or anyone who might find it helpful. It could make a real difference in someone's life. If you're interested in documentaries about psychology, science, history, economics, politics, mysteries, and the hidden stories behind everyday life, make sure to subscribe, and turn on the notification bell, so you don't miss future videos. Now I'd love to hear from you. What topic should I explore in the next documentary? Write your suggestion in the comments below. Your idea might become my next video. Remember, to always stay curious, keep questioning, and never stop learning. It's a mindset that will serve you well, and help you grow, as a person. Thank you so much for watching. It's been a pleasure sharing this documentary with you. Until our next documentary, take care, and goodbye.